Okay, good morning, everyone. Just want to get started here. I know it's Monday, most of the time people are sleeping in. But anyways, so is August day 14th today. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend this week. And now we're gonna get straight to it, okay? So pretty much news came out this morning that there's price cuts on Tesla for Chinese vehicles due to lower demand. So Tesla's been basically slashing their margins in China in order to be competitive, and they're willing to take that hit so that they retain their market share as well. So that's why it's kind of down 2% pre-market right now. So the stock is looking very weak here as well. It's actually under a critical level over here. If we look on Tesla, we pretty much see that it's very possible it can go to 220 over time. So I'm going to be looking at the puts for this, because if FOMC is bad, pretty much you can get there. It's now at that 230 level here. So Tesla is setting up for a 50-day MA test at around 220 here. And if this level breaks, this can really start to move lower back under 200 range here. Okay, so possible to see this with the stocks looking very weak, but once it starts to break through this level here, it can definitely see 220 as well. So those puts are definitely going to be in range today. We're going to be looking at them as well. Okay, so last week the 220 puts closed at around 50 cents. So most likely they'll probably be opening around $1 plus for today. So they're going to be pricing in that drop on the 220 puts, and that's probably going to be a good play for small accounts for this week here. Okay, there's not a lot of other news as well for this week, but pretty much you have to be prepared for the fact that there's going to be a FOMC interest rate announcement happening. Okay, so right now SPX is at 4470, 4471 area. Okay, if you guys got a chance to really deep dive in the market sentiment report, so if you go in the market sentiment report over here, a couple of things I want to highlight. So we're going to be doing things a little bit differently moving forward. So first thing is that this is pretty much a summary of what I think here, and the full report on my analysis is going to be there. This week I never got a chance to do the video. I just got too busy, but the report pretty much tells you everything that you need to, and plus we're going to go over it with the morning call as well. So pretty much what I expect here is that the market's going to be a little bit shaky and so forth. So pretty much I mentioned on the market sentiment report that if we get to around the 4490 area, 4480 area, there's going to be a lot of selling pressure happening around that specific zone. So all I'm expecting is that SPX pretty much may see the market move around level one bullish here, and then that would be a nice area to sell. So looking into that as a potential short position over time. And the weekly range that we're watching for this week here is the 4520 range. So our top range is 4520 and our bottom is 4400. And the 4520, it can definitely go to around, I said around $15 is where it has a strong support. So definitely watch to see that based on the move that we see happening this week. So if we do see this get above 15, that really confirms the trend here. And if this gets around $5 to $6, that's gonna pretty much tell you it's gonna have a strong support as well. So pretty much they're close to around the same value here, both around $9 at this time. So pretty much I think that then in the short run, market's gonna be popping up a little bit higher but around 44.80 SPX is a good time to pretty much short here, and that's what we're looking at on the overall market. So Nvidia also looking pretty weak here. I do think there's a little bit of upside here. Overall this week, I am feeling, that there's going to be a bunch of bearish opportunities, but you really want to keep an eye on Nvidia here, okay? Because it's at a critical 408 level here. I think you probably may see 415, 412, earlier on during the week, but the 400 puts are definitely going to be in play here. So I'll be looking at that as well. And if we go back into our long-term chart, this level is going to be a very important level, because if it doesn't hold this 400 level, then we could see a test to 375, very possible this week, considering the fact there's also FOMC interest rate announcement. Okay, so be sure to keep this in an eye on Nvidia. Huge downward pressure possible, and it's also going into earnings. Okay, so the earnings is set as August 23rd. What I usually find is that stocks that are heading into earnings, they usually they're going to make their way lower before they go higher. Okay, so interesting to kind of see that, because last earnings that happened here. So last earnings that happened in May, the stock really pumped to around this area over here. So we may see that gap fill happen from here to here, okay, where it goes to around the earnings high in the mid zone. So it's very possible to see 370 happen on Nvidia, and this might be a good short that you can probably add for 2 weeks or so. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at this, looking at the 370 puts into next week here, which is August 27th here. Last time they let's go on Nvidia. So last time on the 25th, the 370 puts were going for, oh wow, this is really expensive. They're going for around almost $10 for next week. Okay, so keep an eye on those. Very interesting play here. Nvidia is not a stock for small accounts, so be sure to watch out for that potential opportunity as well. Okay, I see SMCI red in pre-market as well. This looks like it may also revisit the 220 level down the line here. Okay, and Microsoft is at this 50-day MA test. This is going to be a very hard level to break for Microsoft, so we're just going to watch it. We're not going to be playing Microsoft this week, because I think there's better opportunities as well. And Meta also looks like it may see 289-ish if it breaks below 300, so watch out for that. Okay, so key SPX levels have already been posted for your guys' review. Okay, be sure to keep a watch for it. 44.95 is a key inflection point. So far we have SPX projected to move in a 45-point range here. Okay, so this is an initial range that we see. Outside of these ranges, the market's going to start to really break through that threshold and gatekeeping levels. So if we do see a 44.95 break, then most likely we're going to test 4,500 and 4,510. Above 4,510 confirms the trend, but below 44.95 and above 44.50, the market's going to be trading in that specific range. Okay, so watch out for that. On the downside, it's going to be hard to gap below 44.50, but because the resistance is 10 points apart. But at the 44.20 level does break today, then very likely that we may see a big drop here. Okay, but so far I'm expecting that this range is going to be held today. We're going to see 44.95 possibly happen early on, and then possibly a drop to 44.75. Okay, in the report I mentioned that 44.70 is probably going to be the pinned area. So it's very likely that if we see SPX gap up to this point over here, we may likely see a drop down back to here, and then pretty much the market may burn premium at that point on. Okay, so let's see if that happens today. Okay, so we're going to be really looking at that. It may even make sense to get SPX calls around 44.90 because 44.90 calls are going for around $3 right now, and 4,500s are 1.5. So it may be a good opportunity to make some scalp gains off this, depending on where SPX goes for now. Okay, so we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Now, this week, okay, FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday at 2. Okay, very important situation going on. I believe there's AMAT earnings happening as well too, but pretty much that's the key thing that's happening this week. It's all about the FOMC, and we're going to be giving a careful eye on that. It's also OPEX as well, with it being middle of the trading month. So be sure to keep an eye on that with the option expiration happening this week. And other than that, not much happening. And the next event is going to be the core PCE that we're going to be looking at. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the call. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys in the room, and let's get that money.